All right, so we've successfully shared this on Instagram as well. So we are across board on Twitter, on Instagram, and yes, we're taking stuff from WhatsApp as well. All right, so I'm going to tell you one of the things that I shared with my wife last night or the early hours of this morning and tied that up to our conversation this morning. But hey, please, apologies. Looks like I got a few messages here that I kind of missed. Oh, look at that. I've got entries coming in from Joy. I'm coming to that pretty soon. Hot or not? Yeah, I forgot that actually. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Okay, it's hot or not. So I'm gonna play brand new songs. Okay, I'll play brand new songs. It's not too late. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, getting back to this one. This is Fit Bohatwi. I wouldn't believe. Yeah, yes. Wow. Yeah, the password of the day. You know that? It's wow. I'm not surprised that the password for today is wow, because what I'm hearing is wowing. Such an anomaly to me. All right. Most of our senior pastors in Christ Embassy Church, Nigeria, tell us they faced so much persecution from their families in their youth days due to campus fellowships. I wonder, was it overprotection from their parents, religious factors? What was it? With how life is in South Africa, I think most families would be so thrilled if their children were to be a part of a church community. Growing up, my elder leaders would say, if you only knew how blessed you guys are, because back in our days, there was no church community in school campuses. These are leaders in SA. Sure. Explains a lot. Oh, yes, that's faith. Yeah, I could tell that. Okay, so yeah. So it's... what were the factors that contributed to that? Is it been overprotection? I think I touched on this when I spoke about that. Overprotection or just religious factors. Around here, Africans take things, Nigerians take things very passionately, especially when it comes to religion. So there's this belief of, and then our parenting style here is, before now, it's very domineering. So if I tell you to do this, you do this. You don't have so much options like that. So I think that's what contributed to that. Okay, but now let's fast forward into the subject that we're talking about now. So there's been quite a number of cases of sexual violence, like I said before, and it makes you wonder what is causing this increase in social violence. What is causing an increase in rape? Why are the numbers going up, despite the fact that the campaign seems to be on the rise, even via social media and stuff like that? Hey, it's not changing anything. It's not changing much because the numbers are going up. Unfortunately, I don't have statistics to back up these numbers I'm talking about, but I gotta tell you this, the numbers are on the rise. So it makes me very, very concerned as to why do you think these numbers are rising, not only in Nigeria, but across the world? So hit me up on social media. I have a bit to share about this myself, but do share with me your thoughts as well on social media. From a man's perspective and from a lady's perspective. It's very embarrassing sometimes when you go on social media or you hear certain ladies saying certain things that kind of encourages sexual violence. And it makes you wonder, like, what is going on? Really? Has someone been brainwashed? And how did this all happen? I have an idea, which I'm going to share, but I want to hear from you. I really do want to hear from you. I'm going to open the phone line so you can talk to me. 0812-782-1518. That's 0812-782-1518. So call me up. The WhatsApp line is actually open for the phone line, so you can call me on WhatsApp. So that's even toll-free in some way. It's easy to connect with me. It's pretty easy to talk back, to share your thoughts on the radio show. All right? You can call me via WhatsApp. +234 812 782-1518. Let me drop my points here based on the 11 o'clock discussion topic, because I'll be in transit soon. This thing is, in this part of the world, we've swept a lot of things under the carpet. We've heard of several of these cases. Sometimes it's a family member that is the perpetrator, and they say you can't accuse family, or nothing is done eventually. So, right. Another angle is the act is carried out by a neighbor, and because of stigmatization, one is advised to just let it go. Some of our law enforcement people, too, are not helping matters. They treat such cases with so much unseriousness. After all, it's not considered as irrelevant in our part of the world. Then one very big and mostly ignored thing in this part of the world is psychiatric disorders. Some could be as a result of experiencing similar as a child and has vowed to revenge on every female or male figure. Some saw their parents doing the same. Some are basically mentally disoriented. The thing is, we choose to vehemently ignore reality, and that's why we see these patterns repeating itself. Wow, that's a number of factors you have highlighted right there. Plus 234-812-782-1518. Plus 234-812-782-1518. The law enforcement people don't take it seriously. You report a rape case or a case of sexual violence, and they treat it with levity. Sometimes even the law enforcement officers get to blame the victim. That's crazy, right? That's a factor. Another factor is stigmatization, which I believe is kind of changing right now with all the topics that we're having been spread out there. So let's go to the phone lines right now. Let's see who's here. Let's talk about this. Good morning.
Good morning. You're speaking to Faith. How are you, sir?
Hey, yo. What's up? Faith, I must say this. I must say this publicly on the radio that I have missed you. I truly have missed you.
I always miss you guys. You guys are always in my thoughts and but I think you accuse me though sometimes. Sometimes you'll think I'm not tuned in, but I actually am. But I cannot be as interactive because I'm working and listening through my earphones. But otherwise, I love you guys unconditionally. I'm always a Praise World member, family, sister, everything like that.
Great to have you active on the show today, though. Really means a lot. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So let's get straight to this matter, yeah. This sexual violence, rape, and stuff within the borders of such vices. What would you say over the years? What would you say is contributing to the steady rise of these cases?
You know what, Tola? I'm going to be honest. Should we say that it is rising, or should we rather say there's more awareness now? I think that's the first question we need to ask ourselves. Is it really rising, or just more people having a voice to speak up about it? Because there's freedom of speech. Women have more rights now. So many contributing factors as to why it is being noised now. I was listening to the point you made just previously. Growing up, most people, I feel like at least in all of our family members, there's probably one person that we know or who comes back after a few years to say, oh, when I grew up, this and such happened to me. Because the structure within African communities in general, kids didn't have much of a say. Kids couldn't speak up. Why are you choosing an elder? Have respect towards your elder. So that naturalness of how you grew up in the African community and being silenced as a child cannot, force some people to not speak up back in the day.
Right.
With how things are now, I am grateful that more people are standing up for it. It's the same thing like with what's happening in America. Can we say that police brutality or racism is happening now, or more people just recording it on their phone now? I feel like there's more light being brought into such matters. So I think that is definitely one of the factors. And the second thing is that we should ask ourselves, and I was actually surprised the other day when I was seeing hashtag justice for Tiwa or other ladies that were affected by this in Nigeria, because in South Africa, it also was brought into light in more recent years. And there was even a whole protest of men are trash. They made it like more people spoke up about this. And even parents of those kids are also speaking up of what happened growing up. Now, that brings me to my second point. Most of the perpetrators, where are they based? You'd find that it happens in villages, in places where people are not exposed to education. Why? Because a lot of these men probably have got a more traditional view on what a woman is. I highly, there are cases, while not negating that in the developed world or with developed and education people, it also happens, but it's not predominant as it would happen, for example, in a village where somebody is not exposed. And I think that tied into my point number 3, which is that this is why education is so important, to erase the traditional aspect, because you'd find that most people who have like a woman should be like this, a woman should be closed. Why are you wearing a short skirt? You want to be raped. Why are you wearing a tight fitting dress? You're asking for it. You'd find that it's more people who have more of a closed up view of what a woman is. So they feel, I feel that, this is my view, they feel entitlement on what a woman should be. So, and this is why education is so important. I'm not sure if it's like that in Nigeria as well, where most of these cases do happen in places like villages or where people are not exposed that much. What was I going to say now again? So that also is why maybe it does not even rise, because we have these protests. Even though we are protesting, it's still happening because the people that need to hear it don't have access to social media. They probably don't even have access to TV. What would make someone know that we after you, there's a protest? They don't have access to these things to see that people are standing up for it. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the people that need to be reached, I don't feel like are being effectively reached. I feel like not everyone is on social media. While social media and the internet and TV has a loud voice, and we thank God for it, it's not enough. Because I know in South Africa, for example, most of the cases do not happen in the city where everyone has a phone or social media and can post or can go report. Even the police in some of these areas also don't so much has to happen in our society, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying.
I do.
And,
all right, you know what? I'm with you.
What?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, and obviously, the devil also uses the fact that people don't have access to exposure to even plant those seeds in the perpetrator's mind. So we should not negate the spiritual aspect of it as Christians, because we know that everything that happens in the physical is a reflection of what's happening in the spiritual. So we have to just have a stand and speak words, use our authorities as children of God to speak into existence what we want.
Wow. Very, very, your thoughts are very well communicated. I really appreciate that. I need you to stick around though, because there are one or two other points I would like to raise. But if I can mention one of them right now, I'll say for Nigeria, we have people who are even in authority. We have people who are highly educated. We have people who are even supposed to be enforcing the law, who also objectify the female. So it then makes me wonder, like, this is not an education thing in terms of literacy, because we have people who probably have the highest level of education here in Nigeria, who still are found guilty of activities like this, of vices like this, and who still believe in things like this, and so it makes you want to wonder, like, I mean, even those in the urban areas, highly urban areas, and maybe even in political offices are still having this mindset, are still perpetrating these vices. We have people who have come out to say, hey, the person who I was a victim to, the person who did this to me, when you hear the name of the person or you hear the status of the person, it makes you wonder, like, oh my God. I mean, someone has...
And is it legit though? Is it legit though? Like, is it like where people actually get is it just an accusation by someone? Because you also cannot negate that fact that they have, well, I know, okay, I don't want it to sound like I'm insensitive.
Right.
But it happens, and very true, it does happen. But they also, in that case, people who have had affairs with people or who try to blackmail people and say they will come up like this. Unfortunately, there are those kind of cases where a person has to consider as well, where, they say, oh, you don't want to give me this, I'm going to let them know that you did this to me and try to exaggerate the story. But there are then the legit cases. And in that case, I cannot speak much of that because I don't feel like I can speak on something that I don't have exposure or experience in. But I just would like to think that I don't want it to be like I'm painting men in such a negative light, Tola.
I get you.
But power fuels what a person may deem they have authority to. Once you have power and influence, you can easily manipulate situations to your own advantage, if I can put it that. So I would like to think that it is just exercising and abusing authority as a man or even as a leader, knowing that, I can do this, but I will not get caught because who am I? What evidence do you have? What can you do? I've got money. I've got this to bail me out in cases all like that. But in any cases, like I think most of those stories that I've heard in South Africa, it's actually been like just blackmail stuff. Because at the end of the day, these leaders don't get convicted. I'm like, but why? Why? If it is legit true, are they really using that money to get ahead? Because there was even that case with our former president. There were charges against him. The man is still working free. So yeah, in cases where it is legit, I do think that it's exercising and abusing authority. In cases where it's not true, I think it's blackmail.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Please stick around because there are one or two other things I'm going to still touch on this subject within the hour. Alrighty.
Thanks you so much for having me. It was nice talking to you.
Always a pleasure, Faith.
Alright.
God bless you.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
That was Faith calling in to share her thoughts. Very accurate. +234 812 782 1518. I would love to hear from you and also from the guys because in all fairness, in all gender equality fairness, I must state that it's not just the men alone. There are women who engage in sexually violent acts. There are women who actually do rape men, who rape boys, who rape. This is a matter that cuts across a lot more cases of the men, but yes, it is of the women as well, just to keep it all fair on the show this morning. All right. So now that said, I'm going to touch on something today, which is a deeper sense to it. Everything we're talking about is accurate, but hey, the question now is why? The question why? Why do these people do these things? Why? Faith has given us quite a number of examples. Now I'm talking about the people who are educated. I'm talking about the generation, our generation now. I want to just zoom in for a minute, guys. Just follow me, guys. I want to zoom in for a minute to my generation. The young man, the teenager, the young adult who is guilty of stuff like this, or who is also carrying this, living with this mindset. What is the cause? Why does he think like that? Why does a boy, a university boy, educated boy from a good family, think it's okay for him to do certain things or act in certain ways to the opposite sex? Sexually, I mean. Why? Why? That why is what, I was driving the other day. I took a trip. It was quite a long trip. And for the bulk of the trip, I was thinking about this point. That was a few days ago. I was thinking about it. What is the why? Why? Okay, now, a lot of women, I should be very careful with my words. Let me paraphrase. There are a number of women who educated women who see themselves in the way and portray themselves in the way that encourages this. No, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to read you a couple of tweets. And then I'll tell you one of the reasons. While all these reasons should be touched on, I'll tell you one reason I think we need to pay a lot of attention to as a global community. I'll read you a few tweets. I'll read you a few tweets. Okay. And this tweet just chose to run away right now. Can you imagine? Okay. Oh man. This is sad. I arranged a number of tweets to share with you guys. I think the page kind of refreshed and I lost them. Anyway. Sad. Okay. Anyway, I had a number of them, but I'm just going to read a few I can find. This one says, me trying to go to Italy and get lost in the dark until a mafia boss comes and kidnaps me to fall in love with him, and I have 365 days to do. This one here says, me trying to get Massimo to hold me hostage, fall in love with me, and take me to his boat. Some of them are explicit, so I'm just going to move. Me trying to sleep tonight, knowing I'll never be kidnapped by the very sexy Italian mafia leader on holiday and be given 365 days to fall in love. Oh, sorry guys, I'm so sorry. I did arrange this, but I beg, please forgive me. Me at 4:30 a.m. when I finally figure out how I'm going to get kidnapped by a mafia leader in the next week. This one says, it's been 24 hours and I still haven't recovered from 365 DNI. Where is my mafia man? How do I feel about being kidnapped? Why was it in... where is my mafia man? What is up with her parents? That's it. I'm packing my stuff, moving to Italy, and making a hot Italian mafia leader fall in love and take me to his boat. Okay, so let me not bore you guys. You might be wondering, what is all this Tola is reading? Let me explain to you what I mean. All right, so there's a movie. It made its debut on Netflix not too long ago. It's called 365 DNI. It's an Italian or Polish, origin and stuff like that. Anyway, I did see the movie. It was very excruciating to watch. So I just kept skipping just to get an idea what the movie was about. And what attracted me to the movie, first off, was the fact that it was trending in Nigeria. It was number 1 and number 2. And then I'd heard a number of people talk about it. I saw a number of buzz on social media. So yes, I did check it out. And midway the movie, while I was skipping, by the way, I'm asking myself, why am I even watching this stuff? Okay, so let me break it down. The movie talks about a... Hey guys, I'm going somewhere. Just follow me, right? I'm gonna tie everything all together in just a bit. So the movie talks about this lady who is kidnapped, and I'm just going to summarize it. Don't even bother watch it. I'm going to tell you about it. Who is kidnapped by this Italian, what will I call him now? Criminal. Let me just put it like that. Yeah, is a mafia boss, and that's not a pretty good thing to be. Yeah. So she gets kidnapped by him. By the way, it's her birthday. She goes on this vacation, and this mafia boss, Massimo, kidnaps her and keeps her hostage for a whole year, 365 days, and gives her that length of time to fall in love with him. She's on a birthday trip. It kidnaps her. Of course, he has all the power. He's a mafia boss. Keeps her hostage in his villa and gives her 1 year to fall in love with him. There's a lot of sexually explicit scenes in there. So just to let you know. So now, a lot of people are talking about this movie. And this movie, I'm using this movie as a case study, guys. I'm using this movie as a case study. This movie talks about kidnapping, holding someone to hostage, and literally, in quote, forcing her to fall in love with you. A lot of people are hyping this movie. I mean, I woke up this morning, I check on Twitter, it's trending, and I hit up on the trend. I see all the tweets in there. I'm like, am I the only one seeing things like this? I mean, I spoke to one or two people who are not faith, just to let you know, who are not, these people are my people that are very educated, my people, my circle, right? And some of them did not even initially see anything off or wrong about the movie. I'm like, there's nothing right about this movie, guys. When did we get to a point where wrong has become right? A point where it's not just wrong being not okay, but it's now not just okay, it is now right. It's now the right thing to do. And a lot of ladies are seeing this movie, and all they are seeing, all they are picking from this movie is the fact that they also want to be kidnapped, held hostage by a mafian boss, and be forced to fall in love with him. When did this become right? This is like a glamorous exhibition of what is called the Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, what is the Stockholm Syndrome? The Stockholm Syndrome is a condition in which hostages develop a psychological alliance with their captors during captivity. There was a scene like that. For those who watch movies a lot, there's a scene, there's a scenario like that in Money Heist, another popular TV show series. Emotional bonds may be formed between captor and captives during intimate time together, but these are generally considered irrational in light of the danger or risk endured by the victims. This lady was captured in an entire villa. She tried to find a way out. There was no way out. There were guards everywhere. It was a hostage situation. I don't care whether you are in a tiny room, in a cell, in a jail cell, or you are in a big mansion, but kidnap is kidnap, guys. Let's face it. Stockholm Syndrome has never been included in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, the standard tool for diagnostic of psychiatric illnesses and disorders, mainly due to the lack of a consistent body of academic research. The syndrome is extremely rare, as noted by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, sometime, I think this was in 19... let me see. 19... it's a very long time ago. I'm just trying to bring you... I think 1970s or something. A woman was kidnapped during a bank robbery in Sweden, in Stockholm in Sweden. That's where this syndrome came about. When this was over, when she was released, she expressed concern for her captors. Why? Because she had become emotionally attached in some way to them. She expressed concern for her captors, and that's where the Stockholm Syndrome came about. if you are with someone for a very long period of time intimately, it's no longer rational. And like I was sharing with my wife yesterday, I'm like, she was left with almost no choice if you said the movie. So that is wrong. Now let me take us back to where I'm coming from. Yeah, let me take us back to where I'm coming from. I believe very strongly that one of the major reasons that's lining up to some of these issues that we are facing is the media. The movies that we celebrate, the music that we celebrate, the videos that we celebrate, and a whole lot more. Now, the young guys whose values have not been totally entrenched in positivity and they are still, hanging in the balance, are watching some of these things and they are taking cues. A guy who watches that and sees how it's been celebrated might come to terms with the fact that it's probably okay to do what the guy did, considering the fact that a lot of ladies are even celebrating the man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's crazy. If things like this, I saw somebody argue. Somebody argued and said, "Hey, if we're looking at it from this standpoint, then that means we're going to criticize Beauty and the Beast as well, which is a Disney movie that our kids watch." And I'm like, "Yeah, then yes, it is. If you want to compare this and that, that is not a standard of right." And so you can say, if you say that, then that is wrong. If we continue to celebrate stuff like this, we don't have the moral right to criticize the reality of these things happening if we celebrate it on screen, then we should not criticize it in real life. Because these things form our thought patterns, and in that way also drives our actions. Music, several times in Nigeria, after a song has become a hit, then NBC will now come and ban the song when everybody has already entered the subconsciousness of people's thoughts. Mutumi says, Tola, she lists 4 factors here. 1, the mind, a recreated mind, educated or not. I get you right there. And some of the things that shape the minds are the things that goes in through our ears and our eyes. That's 1. 2, entitlement, educated or not. 3, no or little punishment for the crime, depending on the country. Faith also talked about that. 4, they aren't first-time offenders. 95% probably haven't of them have gotten away with it before. Wow. See what I'm saying here? We have celebrated a number of things in subtle ways, and then we worry. I just got reports this morning that Hush Puppy, was arrested by Interpol for was it $100 million? Let me even look for that story again. But wait, I'll just hold up on that, so I don't get distracted, so I don't go too far away. I'm going to read this stuff from a friend of mine, Toluchi. He shared this a while ago, I think a week or 2 ago. It says, while we wait on the authorities to fully dispense full justice on all the recent and even old cases, can we all get the legislature and broadcast authorities to stop songs, movies, and other visual content that objectify girls, women as tools of gratification from circulation? And I'm not talking about the medicine after death approach. As usual, we post, tweet, and move on till there's another case. The harvest we are reaping now is the outcome of seeds sown with the meteoric rise of the entertainment industry. We have grown men and budding boys in colleges on the streets who view women as nothing beyond objects of sexual gratification. This movie, as a case study yet again, takes you through a journey that gets you feeling some level of compassion or some level of concern for a mafian boss who's into murder, who's into drugs, who's into dirty stuff, kidnapping, and it's okay. The entire narrative of the movie does not spot any light on any of his vices. Come on, guys. Do you see where the problem is coming from? Well, do you see one of the places, one of the sources of the problems? I told my wife yesterday, if there's one thing I like about the movie is how it ended. She died. And the lady died not because she did anything wrong. She had fallen in love with the guy, yeah. I think they were even planning to get married or something. And she was in the car, all these mafian boys, they have their past. And someone had sent someone to kill her. They killed her. Or that's how it looked, right? She died because she had formed alliance with somebody who has a lot of past, dirty past, and maybe even present. And I still insist it was against her wishes. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you guys this morning. Morton B shared some other points here. Just like looking like it's going to be a top 10-point agenda. Number 5, no visibility of capital punishment by the system. 6, inhuman thoughts and plan of action. Inhuman. 7, selfish, greedy, toxic, and destructive hearts and souls. 8, glorified things. There's more, Tola. A lot should be criticized. I agree with you. So you're telling me now. Thank you very much, Mutun. I mean, that's spot on. Very spot on. Very, very spot on. And thanks for sharing with me. Guys, I need you to share your thoughts with me. 0812-782-1518. That's plus 234 812-782-1518. I'm worried. I'm really worried. I'm a media practitioner, yeah? A media entrepreneur as it is. Praise One Radio is a testimony to that. But not everybody has to run a Christian radio station or a Christian media platform. You can run anything you want to run. But can we still keep some health? Gosh. How can a movie like that be out there and there is the voice of those who can see the vice in it is so little that you cannot even hear the voice of mine with these thoughts is so overshadowed by a lot of celebration of this. And the movie's raking in tons of millions of dollars. And the people that we are protecting, the people that we are celebrating it, there's something not right, guys. Not right. And it starts from us. It starts from us. See, the reason why I'm saying so much about this is because don't I just ran a series on my Telling Bible Stories about Gideon. Never underestimate the power of a unified minority, of a divine minority, of a God-centric, kingdom-centric minority. Gideon's men were 300 and they were against 135,000 men. They won the battle. So when I'm saying stuff like this, it starts with every single one of us. If you listening to me, maybe a few hundreds of us, or running to a few thousands of us listening to us this morning, can understand this, and you are able to transfer this within your circle to make people understand that this is not cool, this is not right, there's nothing cool about it. It's a really good place to start. It's a good place to start. I'm raising 2 boys, and I need to let them know very early in life that things like this are not right. Everybody during the time of rape kept saying, See, guys, I'm sorry I'm all out like this, but hey, let me know your thoughts. Talk back to me. Talk back to me, guys. Let's have a conversation. We're open everywhere. All right, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. Talk back to me. Yeah. You think what I'm saying is not right? Let me know. I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. The other time when the hashtag, justice for Tiwa, justice. I mean, no is no. A lot of people were saying that stuff. I mean, when no is no, young men need to understand that when a woman says no, it is no. But why are we saying that here? And we are celebrating movies where no is not no. And we expect the young boys who are still trying to understand right from wrong to get to a point where they believe that no is really not no, and they can make no turn to yes. Does anyone get what I'm saying? It's sad, and we need to nip it from the bud from where we are right now. Let me go to Instagram real quick. DJ Honesty says, the type of music we listen to, some ideologies that our society has condoned that sees immoral stuff as normal is part of things responsible. I totally agree with you. And DJ Honesty is a DJ, so I'm sure you understand the power of music, and that's the position you're coming in from. I totally get you. Absolutely. The type of music we listen to. These are the windows to our souls. They form the way we think and then the way we act. Gift says, lack of love for one another. That is absolutely true. Let me read this one more, and then I start to wrap it up because, I'm just going all in. Esther Shode says, one major reason that here we give excuses for rape. In societies where excuses are not given for rape, it's saner. But here we have a policy of blaming the victim and excusing the rapists. Once we are able to move forward from this point, and every act of oppression is legally dealt with, we'll see great improvements. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To everyone lending their voice today, this morning, thank you. Thank you. So true, says Faith. Media. This movie reminds me of 50 Shades of Grey. For example, 50 Shades of Grey, women wanted to be tied, hit, ensure pain. After watching that movie and reading that book, let me read that again. After watching, for example, 50 Shades of Grey, women wanted to be tied, hit, ensure pain, and so on. After watching that movie and reading that book, they say it's sexy. Let me say this. I have no problem with whatever style or whatever thing you choose to do, as a married couple, in the way you have sex. This does not have to do with that. I don't in any way, I've never, and I will never, advocate for what is right or wrong in the context of a marital, whatever you want to do. You want to do BDSM, we want to do anything as a married couple, go, fine. Let's go, fine. But what I'm saying is there are lots of people who, what I just read from Faith, some young men now see this as a rule of thumb that every woman wants this. And so when they get in with a woman and she starts to scream or to cry or whatever like that, they think it's cool. That's a problem. It's a problem. Thanks to everybody who's saying stuff. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with me. Still keep it coming in on Twitter, on Instagram at praiseworld_, on WhatsApp +234 812 782 1518. All right, 11:52. It's brand new music day, yeah. Hot or not, but I think I just got emotional already right there. These things need to stop. and we just can't say it needs to stop. We need to spell it out the way it should be spelled out. Yeah? We should spell it out the way it should be spelled out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna play you music right now. I think I can play one song before I come back to call it a wrap on the Praise O'Clock show. I'm just gonna play this one song, and when I'm back, we're gonna call it a wrap on the Praise O'Clock show for today, which has been